Hi, so today we are going to talk about multiplying fractions using models. So I want you to get paper and a pencil. I'm going to have you take some notes. I'm going to have you try some problems on your own, and we'll talk about things. You can pause this video anytime that you need more time, which is kind of nice. In real life, you can't pause me, but you can ask me to slow down. So you're just going to need a pencil and paper, and we are going to get started. So we're going to use visual models for looking at how we multiply fractions. I suggest you take some notes, and if you have a journal, this is a nice thing to keep in your journal, like your math journal at school. You can keep it all in one place. Oh, there's my shadow. If you don't have a journal, you can just keep all the papers together as we take notes. So we are going to start with a whole number multiplied by a fraction. 7 times 1/2. And as I've said before, we are going to look at how a model looks, so you have a visual representation. So basically all this is saying is 1/2 7 times. So I'm going to draw 7 boxes. Okay. And I'm going to break each box in half. We're going to be adding all of these 7 halves together because, again, it's half 7 times. Okay. So I'm going to color in half of each box to represent half. Okay. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 halves. So I'm going to put 7 over 2 because that's 7 halves. And this is a improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we're going to turn it into a mixed number. How many 2's fit into 7? 3. How many is left over? 1/2. Okay. And I can show you a visual representation also of how it looks as 3.5 wholes. Because if we put our halves together, we have 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, and a half left. So that shows you clearly that there's 3 wholes and 1/2. Now, if you want to follow a mathematical procedure for this, which you will, I'm sure, you don't want to draw everything out every time, but it is good to see how it looks. If we have the same problem, 7 times 1/2, what we do when we multiply fractions, and some of you know this, is we multiply across. So if we can turn this number into a fraction, it's going to help us multiply it across. So to make a whole number a fraction, we put it over 1. 7 over 1 is the same thing as saying 7, because that's saying 7 whole is the whole of 1. So I'm going to rewrite down here 7 over 1 times 1 over 2. Now, like I said, when we're multiplying fractions, we can just multiply across. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 2 is 2. We got the same thing we got before. We take that improper fraction, we turn it into a mixed number, and we get 3 and 1/2. All right, so let's try a few more. Use my trusty sock eraser. Let's have 3 and 1, 3 times 1/8, 1/8. Okay. So this time we are going to make 3 boxes because we're doing 1/8 3 times. So I'm going to make my boxes a little bigger because I know I have to divide them into 8 parts, which is more than 1/2. So I have 3 whole boxes. And if you would like to pause this video now and try this on your own and then see if you're right, that's a good strategy. If you don't feel like you're quite there yet, just continue watching. Okay, so now we're going to divide them into 8ths. So if we draw 7 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not perfect, but they will do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means we have 8 boxes when we draw 7 lines. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, great. And now we're going to color in 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Okay, I can clearly see that I have 1, 2, 3 eighths. Now, is 3/8 an improper fraction? No, it's not. Can we reduce it anymore? No, we can't. That is as small, simplified as it can get. Let's do it the mathematical way also. So I'll erase what we have here. Now remember, 3/8 is what we got. Maybe I'll keep that there. Okay, so we had 3 times 1/8. And do you remember how we make a whole number into a fraction? That's right. We put it over 1. I'm going to rewrite it down here. 3/1 times 1/8. Multiply across. 3 times 1, 3. 1 times 8, 8. Our answers are the same. All right, we are on a roll. Let us try another one. Then I'll give you a few to try at home on a worksheet. You might have to rewrite them though. Okay, let's do 5 times 2/3. 2/3 this time. That's a little different than we had before. So we're going to look at the whole number. That tells us how many boxes we need to make. I should have written this higher up so I had more room. We have to make 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what are we going to divide the boxes into? I'm going to add these little plus signs because that's what we're adding them all up. That's right. We're going to divide them into thirds. So 2 lines makes 3 boxes. Okay. Now, how many thirds are we going to color in this time? Before, when we had 1/8, we colored in 1 of the 8ths. Now we have 2 thirds, so we're going to color in 2 of each thirds. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Okay, so let's see how many thirds are colored in when we multiply 2 thirds by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 thirds. Does this need to be simplified? Yes. Why? Because it's an improper fraction, right? The numerator is larger than the denominator. So we have to say to ourselves, how many 3's can fit into 10? Correct. 3 3's fit into 10. So 3 is our whole number. Oh, that line's confusing, sorry. 3 is the whole number, and 3 times 3 is 9. So there's 1 left over to get to 10. So that's 3 and 1/3. And we can check that by saying 3 times 3 plus 1 equals 10. Okay, so let's try the mathematical way. I will erase my artwork. I will leave that there so we can see if we were correct. So we have 5 times 2 thirds equals. How do we change a whole number into a fraction? Put it over 1. Rewrite it down here. 5 over 1 times 2 over 3. Multiply straight across. 5 times 2, 10. 1 times 3, 3. We got it. Alrighty. I think you guys are getting this. I hope you are. And if not, that's okay too. We'll keep practicing. I will do one more with you. And we have to just remember to always write our answers in their simplest form. So let's try 2/9 times 8. This time I switched it up on you. I put the whole number on the other side, but it's the same really. It doesn't matter. You can multiply 2 and 3. It's the same thing as 3 times 2, right? Okay. So the first thing we need to do is figure out how many boxes we need. Yep, 8 boxes. Actually, I'm gonna have to erase this because I need a lot more room if I'm gonna do 8 boxes. So we'll write the math again up here. 2 over 9 times 8 equals. All right. That's better. Now I have plenty of room. So I'm gonna do 8 boxes because remember we have to divide our boxes into 9ths. I'm gonna have to get creative. We'll we'll just pretend they're all the same size. All right, I got 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not used to this tiny whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to divide these into how many parts? My 8. Oh, I'm sorry, I did 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to divide my 8 boxes into ninths. So that's 8 lines. 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Okay, so now they're all divided into ninths, more or less. And we are going to shade in how many of each ninth? 2. So each one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. If I had a different color marker, it would be easier to see. Okay, so now I've shaded in 2 ninths of 8 boxes that are divided into 9. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 16 ninths. And yes, that's an improper fraction. How many 9s go into 16? Write it down here. Just 1. Can't fit more than 1 9 in there. And then we'll count from 9 to 16. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 7 over 9. So we check that. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 7 is 16. There we go. And now we'll check it mathematically. See, that was a lot of boxes to draw. And the bigger numbers you get, you're not going to want to draw that many boxes. So we need to know how to do it mathematically too. Okay, so how do we turn a whole number into a fraction? Put it over 1, multiply across. 2 times 8, 16. 9 times 1, 9. Look at that. Same thing. All right, now I think you guys are ready to try some on your own. I have a worksheet uploaded and I want you to try it. If you have a printer, you can print it out. If you don't, just rewrite the problems. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.